Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Talk Junkies, where I talk sports and Jesse and I talk a little bit of some other stuff. If you want to look at any of our other past videos, just subscribe here to the channel on Talk Junkies. We have about 29 other videos, a few sports, and the rest some other stuff. Check it out. Let me know what you think in the description below. Subscribe, hit the bell notification. But anyways, hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Paul here with Talk Junkies. I'm going to go and talk about some Chiefs football here. Today's game, it was a great game. We won 30-23 against the Denver Broncos. We have won 7 straight games against the Denver Broncos. So, haha, John Elway, haha. How do you feel about that? I wonder what John Elway's thinking in his house as he went to bed tonight, and he's just like, man, the Chiefs have beat me 7 straight times in a row as the GM of the Denver Broncos. And then he probably just wakes up and just looks at the 2 Super Bowl rings he has on his hands. But anyways, that's how I'm going to start the podcast off today. What a great win today, and it was fun to watch. A lot of stuff to talk about. The state of the Chiefs, man. The state of the Chiefs. I'm going to start it off with Patrick Mahomes. 26 touchdowns through 8 games. 3 quarterbacks have done that in the history of the NFL. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and now Patrick Mahomes at the young age of 23. What a great class to be in. So kudos to you, Patrick, for being in that class. I think a lot of people know that, and anyone listening to this video knows that Patrick Mahomes is a straight stud. Kareem Hunt, he's a beast. He is a beast to be reckoned with. He is a force. He is a bowling ball. Whenever the ball goes down the lane, it's a strike every time. The play, my goodness, the play today. Are you kidding me? On the 4th and 3, pitch, run, outside, jump over someone, 2 guys on his back in the end zone for a touchdown. I had a few people tell me I was crazy that I drafted him in both my drafts. I'm in 2 fantasy leagues this year, and he's on both my teams. Squad, Kareem Hunt, the man. Sammy Watkins. Finally, this is his second 100-yard game with the Chiefs this year. I knew he was going to have a breakout game. It was just a matter of when. Matter of when. I think he had around 8 catches, 110 to 120 yards for 2 touchdowns. Sammy, thank you for that. It was really fun to watch Sammy Watkins break out as a Kansas City Chief today. I know he did have that game against the Steelers over 100 yards, but today I think is the day where Sammy felt that he had his place with the Kansas City Chiefs. And I know a lot of these guys are selfless and they don't really care about accolades and stuff like that, but it was really fun to watch Sammy Watkins do his thing today. Travis Kelce, touchdown. He did have a drop pass in the end zone, bullet straight to the numbers, and he dropped it on the second drive of the game today. And I think that changes the game if he catches that, and we go up. Or at that point, it would have been 7-7. But either way, Travis, good game. He had a lot of good catches, and thank you for who you are and being one of the best tight ends in football, if not the best. Tyreek, you are the man. Ladies and gentlemen, 44 catches, over 700 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Already tied his previous personal best touchdown record of last year was 7. He's going to break it. He did leave the game today with a hammy. He has a hamstring injury. So let's keep an eye on that. I hope Tyreek doesn't miss a game. I want to see him play a full year this year, and I want to see the numbers that he puts up. Because at the beginning of the year, I did say, I think it was week 1 or week 2, with one of my friends that Tyreek would be the MVP, but I have been mistaken. I didn't realize how many weapons the Chiefs had when I should have, because I am a hardcore Chiefs fan, and I wasn't smelling the coffee, ladies and gentlemen. And then after that, we have Richard Sherman. He played well today. He had the grab on the onside kick, and if he didn't get tripped up on the legs, he would have ran it in for a touchdown. Offensively, I think our third-string center, I don't know who, I forget his name, but he did a really nice job. The offensive line in general did a decent job today. In the first quarter, I know there was some pressure on Patty on the left and right side on the end rush, and that did change in the second quarter. The whole second quarter, Denver had no pressure whatsoever. The beginning of the third quarter, the opening drive of the Kansas City Chiefs, they didn't have any pressure. And then after that, something changed, and then they had pressure the rest of the game. So I will give a little kudos to the offensive line. They played really well a majority of the season. I know they are pretty banged up right now, but I'll give some kudos to the offensive line. Now, that's the state of the offense. The state of the defense. Okay. The front line, the rush. D Ford, you are inhuman. You are playing the way that Justin Houston did on his contract year when he tied the record for most sacks in the NFL in the history of the NFL, when he tied Michael Strahan for, I think it was like 21.5 sacks or 22.5 sacks. D Ford's playing like that this year. I'm not saying he's going to tie the record. He probably won't even come close. I think he'll end up with around 15 to 16 sacks this year. That's just my guess. But D Ford, you played a hell of a game today. 3 sacks and a forced fumble. Man, did you play your tush off, man. Great job. Breland Speaks, you had 1 sack today. Rookie gets a little bit of taste because Justin Houston's hurt. You did a decent job. Here's my concern with the Kansas City Chiefs defense. We got ran on today. We got thrown on by an above-average quarterback. Case Keenum is not one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. He turns the ball over a lot. He's not one of the great. He's not that comeback quarterback. He's not in the fourth quarter if you're down by 10, 13, or even anywhere from 10 to 21 points down. He's not going to win you the game. He's not going to come back from the game. You cannot rely on Case Keenum to do that. He's just not that quarterback. And that's the quarterback that we played today, and he showed you why he's that quarterback. Because he had multiple opportunities to force the Chiefs into a sticky situation or an uncomfortable situation, and he did not do so. Granted, we did only win by 7 points, and he did make it somewhat interesting, but that was due to the fact that the Kansas City Chiefs defense is lacking hugely. Hitchens down, Zombo's down, Eric Berry's still not playing, Justin Houston's not playing. I know those are some big names. Sorensen didn't play today. Those are some big names, but something has to be addressed with the Kansas City Chiefs defense. And my biggest concern is the fact that we have 2 second-round picks in the back of our pocket. Brett Veach has it. Clark Hunt, he could force something. He's the owner of the Kansas City Chiefs. He could force a trade and put his pressure on Brett Veach and Andy Reid and our offense and our defensive coordinators or any of our scouts. They need to do something because, yes, the defenses have been but don't break. Yes, Bob Sutton sucks. We all know that. We all hate Bob Sutton. Last week I didn't hate Bob Sutton because that was one game out of 8 games this year where the Kansas City Chiefs defense actually showed up to play football, and it was just a bad day by Andy Dalton. And granted, the Buccaneers made it close today, and Ryan Fitzpatrick almost beat the Cincinnati Bengals. But you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm getting at. Everyone knows in Kansas City that Bob Sutton's ass is on the line, and something needs to be done about it. And no matter where you are and what job or what field you work in, if you do not perform all year last year how bad our defense was, and then to continue it this year in defense, and granted, you're only given a set of players, but he has to have some sort of influence on the draft for defense. And we drafted all defensive players last year, and maybe they'll pan out in a few years, and then we'll be like, oh, why'd we get rid of Bob Sutton? But you know what? That's not the case right now. You have what you have. You have a scheme. We run a 3-4 defense. It hasn't worked in the past 2 to 3 years, and it's extremely annoying to watch. It's very frustrating why the Chiefs have not been able to do anything on defense. And the only credit that I'll give to Bob Sutton is the amount of turnovers that he's created as a defensive coordinator. A lot. But we are top 10 in turnover differential this year, and let me tell you why. We had how many interceptions against Jacksonville? 4. And we may have had a forced fumble in that game, so that'd be 5 turnovers in one game. And then there were 4 to 5 turnovers in today's game as well, so that's 10 turnovers in 2 games. So you minus those 2 games, and I know you can't do that, but I am doing it. And then where are we ranked? Bob Sutton is not a good defensive coordinator. He's not a good game caller. I mean, you pick up Ron Parker and he misses a blown coverage today. You do that in the playoffs, the Chiefs are done. I'm sorry. The Chiefs continue to play defense like they have all season, and they do that in the playoffs. We will either be one and done, or we'll win one at home and we'll lose the next one, whether or not we have home field advantage or not. I'm sorry to say it, but that's completely the facts. You will not win a Super Bowl with the defense that the Kansas City Chiefs have. You will not do it. There's not a chance in hell that the Kansas City Chiefs will win a Super Bowl with this defense. And I am one of the biggest Chiefs fans you will ever meet. The Chiefs have to use that second round pick that they have for someone out there. I know that there's a safety on the Giants that they could most likely trade for on a rookie contract still for right around $526,000 a year. Use that second round pick. Offer the Giants. They're 1-7. Give it. Literally say, hey, here's a second round draft pick for next year. I know it's going to be a high. Well, no, it's the Rams second round draft pick, so it is going to be high. But just say, hey, let me get him, and then the Giants will most likely say yes because they're going to want draft picks and they're going to want to rebuild because Eli Manning's going to get out of here sometime soon. I would hope. And then I forget the safety's name, but then you have him. You cannot bank on Eric Berry coming back and just being, oh, Hall of Famer Eric Berry, I'm back. I'm here. I'm ready to play. I'm Pro Bowl level already. First game, second game, third game. If he doesn't play till week 14 or 15, then you're literally, he's not even going to be in the zone at that point. It's going to take him a few games. Chiefs are banking on Eric Berry coming back and playing at an all-time or just playing at an elite level. How can you expect that out of anyone? That's like me taking a complete year of work off in the restaurant industry, and then I'm just coming back as a GM instantly right after that, and everything's going to be gold. No, it does not work like that. That is not how life works. Kansas City Chiefs, that is not how it works. Use that second-round draft pick, trade it right now before Tuesday, and get a decent player to help Patrick Mahomes. He cannot do everything on his own. Tyreek Hill, Kareem Hunt, Sammy Watkins, and company cannot do it all on their own. The offense cannot win a Super Bowl by themselves. That will not happen. And this year you have the offense that can win a Super Bowl, and you're literally going to waste it because you have too much pride to say that you want draft picks. I want draft picks. I want draft picks. Oh, I want draft picks. Oh, you want draft picks? No. I have plenty of draft picks. I don't want to give you any draft picks. I could potentially win the Super Bowl this year, but my defense is actually probably the worst defense in football. The worst defense in football? Yeah. This is the worst defense in football, but I have like 8 or 9 picks. Yeah, I'm not going to use any to trade for any defense. How does that make any sense? When you have a Super Bowl caliber offense like this, and you have the draft picks to trade for proven defensive players that's played in the league for a year or more or plus, and you're not willing to make those trades, sign me up as an owner or a GM for any team in football, and I would make this trade right now. I would. I truly would. I would make the trade right now. I would give up a first-round pick for Patrick Peterson. I would have done it. Whenever he allegedly said that, I would have offered a first and a second-round pick for him instantly. You have a shutdown corner just like that. And yes, we did have Marcus Peters. Blah, 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 blah. Marcus Peters was a cancer. We all know that. But to have Patrick Peterson, why not? Why not? Maybe not a first and second round pick, but maybe both the second round picks and see what the Arizona Cardinals said. Maybe they wouldn't have taken it. But you guys know what I'm getting at. It's frustrating that the Chiefs aren't doing anything before the trade deadline. It truly is. Because from what we've seen and what we've watched from the Kansas City Chiefs defensively this year, we've had one decent game, minus all the turnovers, which 10 of them came against 2 crappy quarterbacks. So if that's what we have to look forward to the rest of the season, then whatever. I mean, I think we'll end up with a decent record, but when it comes to the playoffs and we play the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's going to be a different Pittsburgh Steelers. I think we could squeeze a win at home against the Steelers. It's going to be close, and like I said, it's going to be a squeeze. It's going to be real close. But if we play the Patriots at home, whether it's at home or at Gillette, I think we lose at the Patriots if we don't make a trade right now. And that's just my honest opinion. Based upon watching Philip Lindsay, a 5'8" running back, just gash our defense. I mean, and for that matter, any running back who's consistently ran against the Chiefs this year have just gashed us. And for some reason, the only coach that can understand how to beat the Chiefs is Bill Belichick, and he just ran the ball. And other teams don't get that, and that's why Bill Belichick has how many rings? I can't even count, to be honest. But that's how he beat the Chiefs. control the clock, run the ball, and it's game over. Keep Patty off the field. And that's all the Broncos had to do. If they would have ran the ball, and they showed the asterisk at the beginning of the game today, anytime that the Broncos have ran the ball over 25-plus times in a game, they were like 3-0 or something like that, and anything less than that, and that's why they have 4 losses. They may have ran the ball for 25 times, or they may have today. I can't be for certain. It was close, maybe a little over, maybe a little under, but maybe that asterisk changed after today. I don't know. Maybe that stat changed. But that's the success against the Chiefs, and that's what teams will use in the playoffs. They will run the ball against us, they will control the clock, and they will beat the Chiefs. Patty's never been in a playoff game, so it's going to be a different environment. We've all seen the jitterbugs that he's had today, the game against the Patriots. He's overthrown wide receivers, and by no way am I nitpicking Patrick Mahomes. He has done absolutely amazing all season. I don't even have to go into that fact for what he's done as a quarterback in the NFL in his first season. What I'm saying, though, is that there are some opportunities and misplays on the field that he has left out there on how he overthrows wide receivers, the interceptions he's had, and all that stuff. Those are the things we're going to have to worry about in the playoffs. This is a long season. It's 16 games, and those 16 games matter to get you into the playoffs. And whether or not we have home field advantage or not, if we do not make a trade for defense by Tuesday, we will not win a Super Bowl. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the state of the Chiefs. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. The picture that you see on your screen, on your phone, or on your computer, I took those pictures. I was at the game last week. It was really fun. I took about 350 pictures. Let me know what you think. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell notification. Let me know what you guys think. Have a good night.